I'm Heather Cran. Welcome back to the History Channel. Today I'll be interviewing three historians, Victoria, Emily, and Ramla. First we're going to meet Victoria, and she's going to tell us a little bit about Private Dirk Keppel.
Hi. Private Dirk Keppel was a Dutch soldier who was from Michigan, very religious, and sadly was killed in action in Wilmington Island, Georgia, on April 16, 1862, at 18 years old. He fought for the North, getting paid $5.20. At the beginning of the war and later got paid $26. The typical age of men in this company was between 18 and 30 years old.
Wow, that's really interesting. Why don't you tell us about some of the things they did in their free time during the war?
Okay, well, Keppel and his company didn't have a ton of free time, but when they did, some things they would do were write letters. On Sunday they would worship, maybe play some board games, and Keppel's company had some musicians across from their tent so they could also listen to music in their spare time.
Now we're going to see Emily, and she's going to tell us about what the soldiers wore during the war.
As for clothes, pretty much everybody in the Union wore their blue Union coats. Each person in Keppel's company was given one coat, one pair of pants, 2 undershirts, 2 socks, 1 cap, 1 blanket, 1 tin bottle, and an overcoat. As for food, they had 1 bag of bread, 1 plate, 1 fork, 1 spoon, and 1 knife, and also 1 cup. Some men had shoes, and some men wore stuff from their homes.
Next we have Ramla, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the food they ate during the war.
Men were mostly fed, and Dirk's company usually had about 3 full meals a day. In the morning, they got bread and bean soup and occasionally rice soup and meat. At night, they usually had the same as afternoon. Keppel felt very satisfied with these meals. Most Northerners had the same thing, and the Confederacy had some of this as well as beef, bacon, and other smaller foods.
Now why don't you tell us about some of the equipment they carried?
Obviously, soldiers carry a lot of equipment, and even though technology wasn't at its height like it is today, they still had a good amount of weapons at hand. They had knives, swords, and several firearms such as rifles, muskets, and pistols.
Thank you for watching. This interview about the Civil War was brought to you by Arizona Green Tea.
So good.